This is a sharp, tricky turn right there. Ah, he mastered it. Ah, you drive that thing like you know what you're doing, Ben. You did better than I did, and I've been here before. Alright guys, Timmy's never seen one of these before, and 3 years ago I didn't know what all the different components of a forestry head were until I started to run one. So Ben, will you just walk us through all of the different components so we can understand it?
You bet.
Okay.
So this is our mini CL forestry mulcher. There's a few different components in here that really make it do what it does. Obviously these are your knives or tools. These here are a couple of different options. You can get twin-tipped carbides to go in here, or this blade. Blades are very fast cutting. They do require a little bit of maintenance. You got to sharpen them periodically. Carbides last a long time, a little more aggressive for larger material.
I would say I ground up a car. And on that we went with carbide because so that was the right thing, because they won't dull, it'll last a little longer. So if you're going into rocky ground, things like that.
Rocky ground, carbides.
Okay,
yep,
carbides are the way to go.
More fibrous material, sandy soils, the blades are the way to go.
Now this is a drum mulcher.
Correct.
There is a disc mulcher, and a disc mulcher looks like a big giant, and I'm not going to pick on disc mulchers, but I will tell you that they don't mulch as good.
This is going to produce a finer material. A disc mulcher is going to be fast. It'll knock it down and it's going to throw it. This is going to create a lot finer finished product.
I mean, just so you guys, if you've never done this before, your customers may want to have, one of the feedbacks that I heard before was, oh, it's so hard to walk on, or something like that. And that's when you want a drum mulcher to kind of go in and create that fine carpet of nice material when we're done. Okay, we got two big giant bars on the top, or are we done under? No, wait, we're not done underneath.
A couple things under here.
Yeah.
When you talked about being difficult to walk on, these are a bolt-on adjustable skid shoe on here. This skid shoe, you can run it right down to the ground, and you can see with your, if you line that up, you're pretty much even with these knives. So when you put those skid shoes on the ground, you are going to be flush, and you're able to shave off stumps and sticks and get it so it's nice and easy to walk through.
Okay.
Inside here, it isn't just the knives that are doing the work. Material gets pulled and sucked in, and there's these rakes, these counter cutters we call them. There's 3 rows of them inside here, very tight tolerance. That's what's really helping you create a nice mulch inside it.
Okay. I'll have Timmy lower this in a minute, but back here, this is your protection. This is what keeps the operator safe.
This is a double row of chains that's here to keep the material flying debris from coming back towards the operator. Of course, it's not enough to completely protect the operator. It's also extremely important to have a Lexan door when operating one of these machines.
Yeah, and yes, that's basically a bulletproof door. We've got one. Okay, yep.
So yeah, those chains are just help to protect the material from flying back.
Okay. Anything else underneath here that we should know about, Ben?
That's the gist of it.
Okay. And this is the first test run of the Kubota SVL 97-2. If you haven't caught it yet, I bought this from McFarland's here not too long ago. So if you want to know more about the machine itself, go over there. We did tune this to operate with this machine, 2200 RPM. That may not mean anything to you, but if you're gonna rent a forestry head, if your machine doesn't have high flow, it can run off from standard flow. Okay, big bars. We were getting to big bars.
Very strong, adjustable. We can tip it farther forward. Some people like it further away from you to help knock material down. It's just there again to protect the operator and the cab of the machine.
It's a tree grabber. So it's designed to let you go up to a tree, and if it's going to fall on you, you can guide that tree where you want it to go. So this is really designed to grab, get your trees encased in here and push them over so nothing lands on the operator. We've got, on this one, we've got 3 hoses. Now with this machine, we've got the standard pressure here, high flow down here. It does require different couplers, larger couplers for high flow, plus a case strain.
Correct.
But no electrical. Now, if you're European, you will have to have an electrical adapter.
And there are some manufacturers that require an electrical jumper to activate the high flow.
Yep.
If that's necessary. On the Kubota, we can plug into the high flow and it's operational.
And what are we looking at back here, Ben? What is this big
This
dial
is the pressure
for?
gauge. That will tell you how much load is on the rotor. So if you stall the rotor, you go up against something that plugs inside, that needle is going to be maximum pressure on the skid steer itself, and that'll tell you that the rotor is stalled. There's a sweet spot that the operator can pay attention to that and know when I am in the torque load where he's using maximum efficiency. And that's where he wants to run it. And it's something that's different per machine, so you got to learn the operation, but using that gauge will help a person get started.
Okay.
We use that gauge to tune the motor also. The motor is a variable displacement with a variable torque. So using that pressure gauge allows us to set the variable torque specs.
And with the Kubota, at least, we do have the option of standard flow and high flow. I'm sure your machine does have that as well. So if it doesn't seem like it's operating quite right, we'll just check to make sure you've either got your couplers on the right fitting, or because we did have to switch that around too to make a different unit work on a different machine. What else are we missing with this thing, Ben?
Hydraulic motor is inside here.
Let's pop that open. Let's show these guys where this is. So this was a question I had off camera for you guys. Here is the main motor. Now there are some units that are direct drive, but here let me just walk through this and you can tell me if you think I'm wrong or right here. So the motor comes here, and then the belt drive goes here, activates the power head. That gives it a little bit of cush. And I asked you, well, why not just have direct drive and have no loss of power?
Right.
And you said,
well, the belts are a very efficient transfer of power, but putting on a hydraulic motor on the drum itself and running it direct drive, you have to have space to do that. So that motor ends up coming out here very wide, and you end up now, as you're driving through the woods, you got a better chance of bumping into material.
You're going to bump into materials.
Yeah.
You are, and that's why I said, oh, protect the motor back where it's protected.
This
okay,
allows
makes
the
sense.
machine to be as narrow as possible. This unit's R150. It's 59 inches of working width. It's 69 inches of outside width. So we only have 10 inches on both sides of overlap total.
Okay. All right, well, let's get to work. Do you guys have buckthorn where you're at? That's what this whole bush feels like, buckthorn. There's something kind of special about this forestry head. It's actually made specifically for the United States, but it's made in Italy by Seppi. And what they've done is they've created a forestry head that doesn't cost as much as a standard forestry head. So normally a forestry head like this would be about $42,000, but this unit, as it's set up, as you see in this video, is actually $32,000. A considerable savings. And what they've done is they've eliminated all the bells and whistles and the frills that are required in Europe that's not required in the United States. For example, when you look at the front of this machine, in Europe, this machine has to have a hydraulic guard that can come down and cover up and protect those front grinder teeth. Here in the United States, we don't need that. So Seppi has eliminated it. And when they eliminated those things, they've also been able to eliminate the price tag and take that down for us. those two big grab bars on the front are designed to take down and direct trees and get them to fall where the operator wants them to. The safest place to be when you're working around a forestry head in the woods is not in the woods at all. These are about the most dangerous attachment you can imagine. But if you do happen to work around one of these and they're out in the woods, stand to the side. Standing directly behind it or directly in front of it are the two danger zones around a forestry head like this. So let's just watch this thing do what it does. There's two main types of forestry mulchers, a drum mulcher and a disc mulcher. This is a drum mulcher. This one allows you to really get down to the bare ground and reincorporate that material right back into the soil. A disc mulcher is more like a giant lawnmower blade. Some people prefer disc mulchers while others prefer drum mulchers. Windows are closed. A lot of these forestry machines start on fire. A lot of them do because people don't clean them. What do we run this about 2 hours, maybe 3 in the dust today?
Yep. That's in there. There we go.
So yeah, you can see good. That almost looks like it needs replacing that fast. This is tough on these machines. And that's exactly what you're not supposed to do, but it's better than doing nothing at all.
Yeah, you got it.
Right?
As dry as it's been, you'd be replacing filters every day.
Every day. Yeah, that was what, 2-3 hours of running. That was that dirty. I hear about these things starting on fire all the time.
It happens. Yep, you're doing the right thing. Get them cleaned out. That sawdust gets on that engine and it just sits through time. And
Yep. So if you happen to have a skid loader you no longer want, just go out forestry mulching for about 3 straight days and don't clean your machine. Just make sure you can get out pretty fast if it spontaneously starts on fire. I've known guys that have been in the machine when they start on fire. Forestry mulchers get the highest. I'm surprised.
What do you do? Just blow them off as much as you have.
You got to keep them clean. Yeah, you got to keep
Because
them.
of the sawdust just
Yep.
ignites.
And it's dry, and it's leaves. They get drier, and the machine is working as hot as it ever did. That's why we never shut it down today. That's another thing. We never shut it down so the machine could stay cool, because it's better to. You got to let it cycle down so long to get it to properly cool off. I mean, that's just my 2 cents. You guys tell me. All right, Tim. Hey, I just want to get you. What did you think of it?
That was fun. Took a minute to get the hang of, and then started,
Yeah, Tim.
knowing where to position stuff to get your ultimate result you want, to shred it as fine as you can. But
Yep.
it's fun.
Let's go up front, Ben. So I just want to clear up a couple things. This is the America model, made in Italy.
that's correct.
Okay, so this has none of those European restrictions that you guys have to put on for other countries, but it's 32,000 versus 42,000, but you're not sacrificing on power and quality. But put it into your words, because I want to understand this.
Sure. The guts of the machine are the same as our standard Mini-Force CL forestry mulcher. This model is built, however, in one configuration. We've built high volume of them. We can set the line up and make many, many, many of them over and over and over. It makes it very, very efficient to build. It's available in 2 sizes. This is the 150. We also have a 175. It's about 10 inches wider. All equipped exactly the same way. Standard with the guard frame, the blades with the cut control rotor, variable torque hydraulic motor on it, and available just at an economical price.
Okay. If guys wanted more information on this thing, where would they go, Ben?
They can visit our website at seppi.com or
Okay.
any of our Seppi dealers.
All right. Well, that's it for this one, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And whatever you guys are working on, I hope you guys enjoy it and just have a great time. And I hope you had a good time today. But that's it for this one. God bless. Go get them. And we will catch you guys on another one. See you later, guys.